Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. We are almost here completed with the basic working of our assignment here. I want you guys to complete this just like the way I have done here to show you. So customers credit is completed. Most of the students have tried this walk-in. Hotels is completed. Most of students has tried this walk-in. Rooms is completed, and some of you have finished this as well. Of course, some of you haven't finished this. Now, if I remember correctly, there are several issues where students had several problems setting up Laravel, because what had happened was some of them are having older versions of Laravel, then some had 8.0 and above. Laravel 8 had new things, new features, and new way of showing the routes. So students had several issues, and some of you were frankly just skipping videos and trying to bypass things, so they ended up having too many errors and can't resolve those errors. You have to go step by step. There is no bypass, guys. I told you guys, you have to start from video 1. You can't jump to video 5. You have to go through video 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 5, because otherwise you'll miss some parts. For example, there is an area where we are setting up alerts. If you haven't done the alerts part, then your file will start showing errors. So do step by step. Okay, and if you can, you should migrate your project immediately to a Laravel 8 project and slowly work on to creating that one. That's going to be the better option for you to do. Okay, guys. In this session, what I want to teach you guys is I want you to see how different it is, the usual CRUD that we do compared to the other types of data entry we are doing. you know so I'm going to go through the completed system here, and I will not definitely show you everything that we have done here, like what happens when the customer does the booking and how do we present him all those separate uh, UIs, views. We're not going to show you that part because you have to figure out how to do that. But I want to give you tips on how you will actually control those areas. So if you remember correctly, hotels, rooms, activities, schedule, customers, all of them are created when you did that PHP Artisan Mac model dash MCR, of course, space dash MCR, and that created a migration file that created a controller which is a resourceful controller. So it has all those correct features. So you have added those data. One of the differences is booking, creating the booking and ticketing. And as I told you guys, booking table has a different type of fields compared to normal room entries and hotel entries, because you are collecting data from many tables. You need customer data, you need room data, you need events data in order to book an event. Once you have an event, then you need ticketing information, where you need to track the activities, show the activities, let customer choose how many tickets he wants. you know so there are many things involved. That's not like a normal data entry where you have a drop down or a form. Okay, just like the way you have understood from the last video. So in a normal scenario, every controller does not always have to belong to a model. Sometimes you have this room, and then you have room controller. Customer, you have customer controller. Hotel, you have hotel controller. This does not always have to be the case. In our examples, we have tables for all these things because we had underlying relational schema with us, and we saw those tables need data. But the truth is, you don't need a controller for every model, or rather, you can have controllers that doesn't have any models. It's just a controller, so it has functions. And if you look at the project here, let me try to open the project. If you look at the project here, in the project, sometimes you'll see web.php had, let's open up web.php. Web.php had these resourceful routes. Then again, if you need an individual route to do an individual thing, you could actually define it separately. Is it a get? Is it a post? Is it a delete? Is it what is the URL you are going to feed? If that URL comes, what is the controller method you would like to execute? You have to give those details. When you give resource routes, they automatically identify add, edit, delete on those pages, you know. But sometimes you just want to handle a separate page separately, so out of the normal flow. Then you have to define what is the URL. When that URL happens, how are you going to call which method, for example? Let's show an example here. See, for example, there is a table here, and then it has hotels. Is it hotels? Let's assume we want to show an interface where the button click of a hotel. Let's say here, see here, there's a hotel. When you click this hotel, it's taking you into edit page. Rather, let's create a page where it will let you choose a hotel. Then when you choose a hotel, it asks you the room type you want to choose, stores those data into the session. In the last page, it shows you information about the room and adds the data into the room. So you can call that like a room wizard, a new room adding wizard, something like that. So if that is the case, you can actually first create a small link in your navigation, just like your schedule ticketing. I'm just going to create one more here. Let's say this item is called room wizard. We can call it room wizard. Room wizard. Like next type of interface. So it's not like a normal data entry. So room wizard. See, you are even calling it your own name. You could even have capital letters or simple letters, but room wizard, stick to lowercase URLs. Room wizard. When you click room wizard, what you would like to do is you would like to go into the room controller and show, or you want to go to the hotel controller and show all the hotels that are available, for example. How are you going to do that? So this is not a normal resource route. It's your own route. Now how do you route this? So what you want to do is when the customer clicks on this link here called room wizard, see here room wizard, you want to generate this URL. Look at down here. Down there is a waterpark/room wizard. So from the room wizard, you would like to take the customer into a page where it will show all the hotels available, and in the hotels, then you will choose the hotel. So let's try to do that. You go to web.php and you say, okay, I have a HTTP GET route, so there's a route, and the route is a GET route, and the route says room wizard. If that's the case, what you would like to do? So what we want to do is we want to execute the room controller or hotel controller, because first of all this is about showing all the hotels. So let's try to hotel controller, hotel controller, and this is the level 8, so you have to give it this way. Which method of the hotel controller would you like to execute? So you can't just give one parameter, it has more parameter, therefore you put in the square bracket. Then you choose the method name. In this case, let's create a new method, of course. So, yeah, square bracket close. What is the method? Show hotels. Show hotels, something like this. It's just the name, show hotels. Okay. Let's go into this page, semicolon, and you go into your hotel controller. Control click, it will take you there. In the hotel controller, you're creating the normal flow of events is basic CRUD functions. Down here, let's create this function. So you just made up your own method from the route. I'll just put it down here. So let's say public function, and if it is a function that's available for the public to use, execute from the route, you have to allow this as a public function, not as a private function, right? Public function, show hotels, yeah. And because you are going to click it from a URL, it's taking you into this show hotels function. You may or may not need a route, a separate ID or anything. So because in this case you have a URL and you're not looking at any filtering mechanism, it's just a page. You're going there, it's just a page. So you don't need any data. So what you do is, once the show hotel method is executed, you'll just return a page. So you just return view, and in this return we'll say, let's say hotel slash, you remember there is a hotel dot index, that normal page where you have, see, this hotel dot resources, hotel dot index dot blade. That's not what you want to display, right? So we say hotel dot all hotels, or choose hotel, choose hotel, choose hotel. So let's say choose hotel is a name of a page we have created, we want to create, so what happens, you go into your hotel and create this. Of course this is not something in your assignment, it's not a feature. I'm trying to show you how you can make custom routes and call custom methods from controller and bring custom output based on your requirement. So you go into hotel, you create a new file and call it this name, sorry, hotel dot choose hotel. I copy the whole thing, choose hotel dot blade dot php. This is the function, doesn't have anything. Okay, so what do you want to do? You want to display all the hotels available. So we will do exactly what we have here in the table, you know and instead of table, of course, so let's copy everything here, and look, we are sending all the hotels. We need all the hotels. So just like the hotel controller, we need to send all the hotels. So where is all the hotel available? Here in the index method. So just like the index method, we will send them, but instead of pagenet, we will send them directly. you know so this way you can copy and send it, or you can create your own version of a new variable. So all the hotels, you can't paginate right now, so you say all the hotels, choose all the hotels, and then send them across. Sorry, get all the hotels, and we are sending all the hotels into this method, comma compact. Now you have all the hotels. What do you want to do with it? Yes, let's go into this file. Let's copy everything in the index page. We want to display in the same page as a template, so same way, but difference is we will try to display it in a different way. Right now it's the same thing. So if you send all the hotels, you are sending all the hotels, it's going to display all the hotels. So let's go there and test. Room wizard takes you into this hotel. See, the same page, the same thing, because right now it's the same page. So collection links doesn't exist. Yeah, of course we didn't do pagination, so this will not exist. Other than that, it's the same. Yeah, see, that's it. So let's try to change these things. Instead of so you have to start with a small template page. So he is not going to add a hotel, of course. Of course, if they want, if the admin wants, he can do that. We can have that link working, no problem. But if you have hotels, instead of displaying them as tables, we will ask him, please choose a hotel. So here you have hotels. So instead of hotels, we'll say, please choose a hotel. Choose a hotel, H capital, I think more useful, to add rooms to it. To add rooms to it. For example. So in a different way of entering data into the room table. That's what we are trying to simulate. How to enter data into room table in a different way, by showing different pages and carrying data across different pages, for example. So you choose a hotel to add the room, and then you have here um, all the hotels, and right now there is a table. So instead of table, for example, can we display them as cards, for example, or can we display them as basic URLs, or hyperlinks, and instead of showing them as separate table items, can we display them as clickable buttons, for example? Let's do that. So we will actually have this div function working, just like the way we created this form method where you are sending buttons. There is an edit method as well here. So similar to this, we can have our own method. See, here you have a URL where you have an anchor tag, and that anchor link takes you into a specific hotel. So you have this hotel name, and here you have a button, and then you are saying button.default, it has edit function, and the whole thing is a URL. So let's just copy this URL, and instead of having separate items, we are going to delete this form, we are going to delete this table. So everything from the table we are going to delete. Of course, we need the for loop, okay, so don't delete everything. So we don't need this table headers. Where are table headers? Here. Okay, we don't need this table, you know. So instead of the table, I mean, of course, if you want, you could also have the table, but then it will have only one column, you know. Okay, so no table, no table body. You need a follow. For each hotel you're going to display a new button, kind of like, you know. So then name and form group with the delete button also is gone. No form, no div, no table row, no table body, and then no table. See here, yeah. And in this case we will open a new div area, or you could even have a small separate item here where you can display all the buttons. So this is the button you are displaying. So you have a hotel, and then instead of hotel you display the hotel name here. You know, what is the hotel name? You have the hotel name. And is that the name? How do you know? You can easily find from your database what is the name. I mean, if you forget, always go and check your hotel. What is the name of our hotel table column? Is it hotel underscore name? You know, select stuff from hotels. Of course, there's another place you can verify this. What is this hotel name? Yeah, where is that? In the data. If you go into hotels.php, you know, hotel.php, you will have all your table names. Yeah, see, it's actually name, only name. That's the only parameter there. Okay, so we are in the function choose hotel function, and we have a name, so we can display the hotel name. And now the hotel name appears as a button, and instead of a button default, can you make it as a button primary? You know, how does that color? So don't worry about CSS too much, but the output will look different. See, all rooms, all bookings, all hotels. This is where we are. See, room wizard. Let's make it a new window. So in the room wizard, this is how we want to display them. Okay, see, choose a hotel to add room suite. Already you can see there's a difference. So he will choose them. Okay, this one I want, this one I want, and of course you remember. And in CSS, okay, you can give other types of buttons. You know, you can just change the button into a long button, into a small button, into a big button, into a card. So for now, it's just a small hyperlink. How does it appear is a completely different story. This can appear as a big square. This can appear as a small. All of them can appear as separate clickable tabs. Doesn't really matter how they are displayed. But what you want is you want the admin to click one of these buttons, you know, and thereby you are taking the hotel into a separate URL. Now what is that URL? See, in this case, this is trying to do edit. We don't want to do edit. What we want is we want to take the hotel name, and now that we are trying to insert the data into the hotel, see, you have to go step by step slowly. You will understand this. Look at the room. Where is the room table? Where is the room table, guys? Rooms. Okay. Yeah. See, I need hotel ID. I need a room type. So he will choose the hotel ID, and then we know which hotel he wants to add rooms into. You know, so we don't need this edit. We will have hotel slash hotel ID as a get URL. So also we don't want to use the hotel terminology. Why? Because hotel terminology is used in the CRUD, in the basic CRUD, because the user the your hotel itself is the hotel.php's name. So in the route you have already hotel, so it may cause issues. So we will use completely different name, and in this case hotel is chosen, and now the next step is to choose the room type. So we will change this item. Instead of room wizard, we say now we are in the room wizard, so this is going to be the second step. So in the room wizard you have chosen a hotel, and then let's say choose choose hotel chosen slash hotel ID, hotel chosen slash hotel ID. See, hotel ID, and then he has chosen the hotel, he has clicked the hotel, it takes him to this window. Now what do you want to do? See, you have to tell everything you want to tell step by step. Slowly you learn these things. Now this is the URL, waterpark slash hotel chosen slash hotel ID. Now again on the web.php you can define an action. So you go into your web.php, you say, okay, what do you want to do now? Now you have shown this page. Now there is a separate URL. Now the URL is, of course, you know, or this URL is choosing hotel chosen, you know, chosen hotel. See here, this is the name used. URL is hotel chosen with the ID. So hotel chosen followed by an ID. You know, this is how the URL. If this is the case, what do you want to do? Again, you'll say you have to send it to a controller function. Let's send it to a. You see, in this case, now you have chosen the hotel, but we don't want to take it into a hotel class. We want to take it into the room class. Why? Because now the room class is taken over. It is going to display all the room types. So let's take into room controller. You can see here the fluidness. You can easily change where you want to take it. Room class, room controller class, comma, and then the action. Okay, so what do you want to do? This is room controller. Let's try it. Is there any spelling mistake? Room controller class. Yeah, remember it's this colon, no, the facade type of entry. Okay, so you have this room class associated this way. What is the name of the okay. So now we have the hotels already. Customer, not customer, admin has clicked the hotel. We want to take it into this method called um, showroom types. Showroom types. Showroom types. I like to use this kind of methodology with camel casing. Showroom types. What are we trying to do? We are trying to tell. No, you don't need this. Uh, Go into room controller. Of course, it doesn't exist here. You have to create it. Yes, remember? All right. So what do you want to do? Public function. You can always test slowly and don't hurry. Just slowly go through this. You are getting an ID. What is that ID? That ID is called a hotel ID. You are getting this ID here. You can check if you are getting it. DD ID. What is DD? Dump and die. So it's a very useful way to capture. Are you here? Are you able to come here? Does it work? Yes. Let's see. You click this, it takes you into this hotel function. See, one displayed here, which means you are here. You are able to come to a room controller's method. That's what you want to test. Now what do you want to do? Here you want to do is this ID belongs to the hotel ID. This is the hotel ID which the admin wants to put rooms into. So you will actually grab the hotel name here, and then you will show it in a different way here, in a different way to show all the rooms available. Please choose the rooms. So we will return another view. This time we will have a room class. So we will have room slash you see, in this case we have room view available. You can have anything you want. Room, choose room type. Room type. I'll call this room type. So room type dot blade dot php, and then semicolon. There will be a function because you have to use the compact method in order to get the hotel, as well as you have to use the send the room types. Number one, hotel, $hotel. What is the hotel you are looking for? $hotel equal, what's the hotel? Use the hotel class, and then find this using the $ID. This is the hotel you know. So we have found the hotel. If you still want to test it, just do a dump die $hotel. Have you found the hotel or not? Using this data. If you are curious, always run it. See, there we have the hotel. See, MySQL hotel. You have the data of this hotel, Apex hotel. So you have that specific one, and then Apex hotel is already there. Yeah. So this is the hotel, and once you have the hotel, you send the hotel across into hotel. Additionally, we are also want to send room types. What is room types? Room types is all the room types available in the room table, because we want to the admin to choose what kind of room he is adding, because room wizard is available when they already have existing room types and they want to add one of these rooms. So we need to find out the room, all the room types. So room types. I think I already have it here, up here, room types. Room type. See, this is the one. Use pluck method. What is pluck method? Pluck method will go and just grab one of the columns. Take all these data. It will just grab these data in this room type. Pluck the whole column, not rows. It's easy way to take out data from one simple column. Go to the room type, choose everything there, and get all the room types into this variable and send it across. Room types. Again, you have to do something else here. Now you are going to another page. You have the hotel ID. This is the moment where you are going to store the data into the session, and later you will get it back. So what is this hotel ID? This hotel ID is the data entry required for this field. Here's your room. Oh, I keep on changing this. No, stuff from room. Sorry, hotel ID. You need hotel ID. So you put this. You just make a hotel ID and you say request dollar request. Okay. So if you want to store this information using a request method, then you need to get the request as well, because here you need to have request comma $request and then comma ID. And once you have this ID, you are going to send it across by using the request method, because request is an object. You want to use the request object to set the session. So request.session, and then use put method to put this variable. What do you want to put in the session? You want to put the hotel ID as hotel ID, this field as $ID. Okay, see, this is how you put it, so that other pages will know which hotel ID you are trying to add a room into. So this is how you carry this in the session. Now you don't have to worry about which hotel he chose. Okay, so this is one way of doing this. So you can still check, am I still able to have this? Did you, with this change, you know, if you are always concerned, check it, am I getting this room or not? Click it, the Pinnacle, that's the second hotel. See, there we have it. Still we are there, you're clear. So don't worry about these changes, just test it before you implement all the views and everything. You have always verification ways of verifying things. Once you are in this method, you are saying show all the rooms. Okay, what do you want to show? We want to show room type. This one doesn't exist, so let's go into our room view, and in the room view we create another room type.blade.php where we can display this information. So let's create a file, new file, room type dot blade.php, and here you are going to display our room types available so that you can click. And this is also going to be similar to the you know, where is that data, just like the way you have done for the hotel. Yeah, this function choose hotel. Let's copy this here so we have a layout and everything. So room types. Okay, what do you want to do? I have all my room types, right? You're getting room types this time. If room types is greater than, meaning there are more than one room types, and room types as room type, you are going to choose room type again. See, you're going to choose this room type, and then you already have the hotel also. So you say choose a hotel. Instead of doing that, you will say choose a room type to add rooms to what, to the hotel. So here I will display that hotel. Of course you have already this item, you know, you're sending it. So hotel name, choose a room type to add rooms to the Pinnacle hotel, you know, or the hotel. So it's a hotel, you know, you're adding into this room. So this is customized way of showing the data. Once you have that data, then you are here in the customer, and the admin can click one of these room types, and then we are going to display room type. It's just a room type, you know, room type. I want to add a room type where into this room table. So already we know hotel ID. Now we are choosing the room type. Remember, I'm just showing an example. It's not how you will do these things. It's just an example to show you how you can use session variables. It's not something you need in your assignment. I just want to remind you that. Okay, what do you want to do with it? You want the customer to click the room type, but how do you want to send it? You want to send it by using room type slash then they have chosen the room type, so that is going to be the room type they have chosen, you know. And with that we need to identify, so this is the room type they have chosen, room type, you know. So they are clicking this room type, and that will be taken as a URL into the room controller again, and there we will process this again. So you see, I already have hotel ID, I need a room type, then I can give, okay, enter the price and a room number for this room. Then we can insert those data into the room table. Okay, see how it looks like. Click one of these things, the Pinnacle. It takes you into this hotel where it displays your page saying, okay, so call to a member function, put on null. What do you mean null? Which is null? Okay, so this kind of errors will happen always. Just be patient and play around. Put the hotel ID as this ID. Yeah, hotel equal hotel request dot session dot put hotel ID as hotel ID. Yeah, so this is how you use the request variable to set the session and put it. And the problem here is session itself is a method, you know, so you have to do it this way, right? Refresh. Did we get it? Oh, okay, okay. How variable deluxe? We didn't say no deluxe. Room type. Ah, sorry. You know, this is something else. We don't want to go into this topic. In the room type, we actually put $, and that becomes a variable. The deluxe itself becomes a separate variable. Okay, look at this. There is an issue in the closing of our header. Yeah. So now that we are here, choose a room type to add rooms to the Pinnacle Hotel. See, how did you know this name? Because you're coming from the previous page. You know, you'll use similar concept when you ask the booking and ticketing things. You know, you give screens like this so they can choose. And of course, you can see here already there is a little bit of issue here because you are giving up a lot of buttons, and followed by each button there is no space. And then you can of course change the CSS to change these things, which I don't want to do right now. So these are example room terms. What type of room you wanted? Say a family suite, you know. So he's adding a family suite. Again, where you take in room type slash room type. So let's go into our web.php, copy, you know, web.php, and here we say it's a new room type. So don't try to copy these things into your project, guys. This will not work because these are custom things I have done previously. This is the new things we are trying right now. Okay, this is again another get method. And what is that method? This method says you can use double quote or single quote, doesn't matter. Let's stick to single quote. Room type followed by a room ID. Okay, followed by a room type. This one can be an ID or a room type, doesn't really matter. We can put a room type. Okay, so what do you want? So you want to send a room type. When you get this room type, you have to remember the type of guys. Okay, what do you want to do with it? Comma. Send it to the room controller. Room controller. No, this is the class, of course. And then what do you want to do? Where do you want to send it? You want to send it into room control. I keep on forgetting this. Room class a function. What is this function? This function is going to set again the room type that they are adding, and then show them a window where they can enter the room details, such as, you know, the Pinnacle Hotel and those things. So you see, we have the room type, so we are going to display them and send it across into another page. So let's say show room add showroom add page, you can say, you know, showroom add summary, something like that. Don't worry about these names. What does it do? Go into the class. First of all, we are here in this method. Let's try to see if we have what we need. So we are here, public function. If you are coming from HTTP method, you're always going to have this request variable at service with you. So you are going to have the request, so remember that you can use comma, you're going to have the room type, room type, room type that is chosen. Alright, let's try to see if actually we have the room type in the first place. Do we have the room type or not? Room type, because we need it absolutely, right? Right, so click student suite. There we have it. Okay, see, student suite is the one they chose. It's like that, just like that. Okay, so once we have this page, we are going to display a page where we are going to say return. So you have to remember, you are sending a hotel, you are sending a hotel ID, and then you are also sending uh, uh, you have already hotel ID in the session, you are sending a hotel name, and you are going to show it in the customer form. So return view, what do you want to show? You want to show room slash room.add room. I'll call this as add room, room.add room, and you have to send across a few functions. And what you need to send is, you need to send the hotel name, for example, and also you need to send, so I'm going to just send the hotel again, similarly using the hotel. Okay, so remember, how are you going to find the hotel if you don't have the ID with you already? Look, here is the ID. We are just going to use the session variable, so we say find it using the session, so dollar request, and then, sorry, not this one, not the global request, you use this session, and you will say get, what do you want to get hotel ID. See, this will give you the hotel ID you need. So you use the hotel ID and you send the data into the hotel class, hotel method to, sorry, hotel facade, to get the hotel you need. And this is the hotel we are going to send into this page. Why are we sending it? Because we want to display a form where we will display the hotel name. So you need the hotel, and then of course you already know the hotel ID there and then, but still we are going to grab this information from the session. Now we are going to put another method into our request, and that is the room type. This is the room type we got. So this room type is going to be this variable. This is a hard way, difficult way to do this, but you get what we mean, right? So we are going to and put a room type using room type, and we could of course give already room is walking with that nice interface. You see, I mean, here we already have these rooms, but I'm just displaying you how alternative ways of data adding into the tables by taking them through different pages other than the normal CRUD. Right, so request input room type. Now we have the room type. Okay, so what do we need now? We did nothing, we have everything. We have hotel ID, we have room type, we just need price and status. Status also we don't need, because by default it's free when it's created. Okay, room number. Right, take us into this page, and we already know the room type, because room type is in the session. So I'm just going to send it across anywhere. So room type, room type, room type is going to be equal to this room type. We can actually we can actually query the session data in the view also, actually, but I'm just going to send it across anyway. So the room type is going to be equal to this room type. Oh, we don't need to, actually, we just send it directly here, because you already have it, right? You don't need the dollar sign. There you have it. Now I have to create a new page called add room. So add room, let's go into our room view, and create this method called new file, add room dot blade dot php. What do you want to do there? You want to go and create everything that you have in the create method, and then you are going to display this into the room, add room, and what you need is display everything here, and adding a new room, information to the room. This is a post, you are going to put it in the room, and you are going to have everything that you are going to do in the room, but room type is going to be predefined. So that means this input will be already having a value here, and that is $room type. See, you're getting it from the room type. oh, this is going to be a conflicting scenario because we are already sending a room type, and we have this item called room type as a selection list. So let's remove this list. We don't need the list anymore, and this data list and if also if condition and if list data list, the whole thing we don't need. We already have a room type, and also it's going to be disabled, so read only. Read only. Okay, you add this and then it will just be read only. You are not going to be able to edit it. So this is a read only method. Why? Because you already have room type. Then you have the errors, so these errors are also not needed. And room price, of course they have to insert. And hotel, now we have the hotel already. So here also we are not going to need a selection box. We are going to need directly a hotel name with an input. So let's grab this information that we have for the hotel type. Label name, input name, value equal hotel type, read only again in this case, of course, right? Because instead of hotel ID we are going to put it the hotel. What is the hotel? The hotel type is hotel underscore ID. What is the value? The value is we don't even need the value. Why? Can you tell me why? Because you have it in the session variable, so you can take it there. But let's say if you have sent the hotel here, then you can easily if you have sent the hotel here, you can easily fill it, right? It's kind of easier. Hotel ID. What is the hotel ID? The hotel ID is $hotel dot id because you already have that variable at your hand. And the value, oh sorry, this is not correct. This is not correct because this input is not going to be hotel name. It's just going to be, we are not going to put a name. This is actually hotel name anyway. If it is anything, it's name. It's not hotel ID. Hotel name. We are just going to display hotel name here. We are not going to use this. Why? Because we already have hotel name in the session, and we are just displaying it just to make it more user friendly. There you have it, hotel name. And we don't, with these things actually you can change them, but for now let's keep them. And then we will tap the room number. Right? Look. So this is a normal form submission that is going to execute our rooms store method. How do you know that? See, this is a normal form which is submitting into slash room, which is going to trigger the usual store method. See, so essentially it's the same as add room. Okay, let's try to choose a room, family suite. Okay, so add room doesn't know what is a room type. Yeah, because we use room type with a simple T. Room type with a simple T. Didn't we? Think so. Yeah, see guys, this is, you no, you're not supposed to edit this. It shouldn't be editable. See, let's try to make it read only. Read only. Is it classic or read only? Or read only? Making it read only. Yeah, it's read only. Let me just have a quick look at one of these examples. It's read only. Is it classic or read only or not? Classic or read only. This is room type. I'm just going to put read only. Let's see. What is that field? That field is no. Still is allowing us to. So if you put disabled, then that input is disabled. There is also a way of doing it. I just want to check booking slash edit room event index create. Here I have some examples, I think. Yeah, see. So read only. Yeah, there is no. It's just read only. Okay, so customer room, add room is the correct value is read only, like this. Remember to close it correctly. See, read only is one word. There you have it. It's not editable. Yeah, do the same thing to the hotel. Hotel name is also read only. Name value equal read only, no slash hotel name. Did I make a mistake here just now? Value equal price, value equal room type, and read only. Yeah, it's correct. Okay guys, we have done there. Okay, see, room type comes from the session variable, hotel comes from the session variable, and they are already filled for you. This is the same. Our purpose is to fill this form for that admin. It's the same as going into this and adding a room. It's just like here and adding a room. In fact, we have it here. No, okay. See, add room is the same. Here he has type everything. He has a drop down for the hotel. Here he has room types already available, which is more friendly, of course. And this is another way to do it. You can go to the wizard and add a room. And I'm just showing you different ways of handling that. It doesn't have to be one form where everything is inserted using drop downs and form. It can be different pages where you are guiding the customer, guiding the person using the system, and taking from one UI to other UI and collecting information that you need. So once we have this information, let's add a family suite into Pinnacle Hotel, and let's have a room price of 3,500. This is a family suite, and give a room number of 315. Create. See, the hotel ID field is required. Okay, now here is a little bit of problem because you are trying to submit this into the same form where you are submitting in the room controller. Let me show you room controller. You see, store method. The store method already has this check. It has this check where hotel ID is a requirement. So if you don't have hotel ID, it will not go ahead. And one of the ways we can solve that is we can just add hotel ID as a field here. You can just say this is the hotel ID field. This is the hotel ID field. We can trick it and not use that field. This is the hotel ID field. Yeah, so that is one way of doing it. And then you click create and it will go. And one of the problems there is it's going to use the store method, and that store method is going to use hotel ID as the pinnacle. That's not the correct way to do it, right? So hotel ID has to be inserted there. So here you could have given the drop down and make it as a selected. That's also something you could have done. It's like this input field where you have. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab this edit.php, and I'm going to find this drop down where I have that input field. So I'm going to change it into a select field, and I'm going to have hotel ID as a drop down, and yeah, let me just change it. That way we are going to be able to have the same input. It's going to be easier. Yeah, it's read only, but still they can choose if they want. And if the hotel ID, so this is how you do. Of course, you have all. In this case, you have to have all the hotels. Yes, and in this case, what you do is value is equal to. So you have only one for each hotel as hotel. So there's only one hotel. So you don't need a for loop here. It's just one hotel. Even if you have a for loop, it's not going to be a problem because it's only one hotel. And then here you have hotel ID, and then you put hotel name here, and this is going to be the selected item because there's only one item there, and it will be the default, and you don't have to do this check. It's going to be selected, and you don't need if condition either. At the same time, it's going to be read only. See, let's see if that works. So refresh. Add room has hotels because we are given hotels here. Don't worry much. ID not found. Where is that ID? Hotel ID not found. Hotel property ID of none object. No hotel. We are sending on the hotel. So hotel ID is as. Let me just change the hotel. The hotel ID option value, the hotel ID the hotel name. Kind of this seems to be the issue here. Hotel ID. You can see here it takes more pain to make it work because we are given this wizard type of interface. Trying to get property ID of non-object, the hotel ID. Why is that? Because we have the hotel already. Yeah. So let me just try to remove this. We have the hotel here, and are we given the hotel? I'm confused now. Yeah. Option value equal the hotel ID equal to the hotel dot ID hotel dot name. Even if you are saying that, we are actually sending it. Yeah, look at that. See, this is Pinnacle. There's only one hotel available. That's the only hotel choosable even. You know. So when we made it read only, it didn't work. Selected read only. Read only. Can we make it read only? No. Yeah. Okay. I get it. You don't have to put it here. You have to put read only here in the select. There you go. See, you can't select it now. So kind of like this. Then you will enter the room price. Make it expensive now because we went through so many trouble just now. So let's say 306 is a family suite in this hotel. Create is going to take you directly into that function. Look at that. You just added a room into the family suite, and that was 4,500 bucks. See this one, 322. No, this is not the one. It's already booked. Where is that room? You added to the family suite. You added a room to the family suite called 302. Yeah. Oh, it's not. It's a Pinnacle hotel. Pinnacle. We added a family suite in the Pinnacle. This is the one. See, it's just like adding a room, but in a different way. Okay, using now in the controller. Actually, you already have this stuff. If you wanted, you could have used the session variable and create a completely different post method and save it using a different method other than the store. It will work the same. Then you could have used the session variable as primary fields for data collection. Now one of the things you can do is here, once you are done, you can easily clear up the session variables if they exist. Otherwise you can just keep it. They will get overwritten anyways. Okay guys, thank you very much for that video. There's a rough idea of how you can create a different way of data entry, and that's exactly what I have done here when I made the changes using the booking and ticketing, where I have given the customer the ability to go here, and I wanted him to enter his ID and then enter his username password. In this case it is the customer ID and customer phone number. It's not username password, it's customer identification data. He will enter these details and he go into this field. Okay, when do you want? I want to attend this day, and then he will say, okay, all these are available rooms. Okay, let me just book this room. I like this room. So he has chosen that room. He shows his information. He just pairs and continues, and it takes the customer into his booking page. See, he already have all these bookings, and if he wanted, he can just cancel the booking. Let's say, he has this, and then he can buy more tickets even. So those things are there as well. Okay guys, so there you have it, and this is exactly what I want you to do in the case of ticketing and booking. So your room, you don't have to do this wizard part. I just showing them to teach you about the session variable and how to handle it. Okay, so the rest is up to you, and throughout the whole time left for you before the submission, almost 1 month or more, you can make things work for you, and let's discuss and get this done. Thank you very much.